This is Fulcrum, and I am so psyched for the new season of The Mandalorian, and I know you're psyched too. I've got so many predictions on what's going to happen with the Darksaber and Bo-Katan, the armor, Din Djarin, Paz Vizsla, how all that's going to come to a head. The fact that we're going to get to visit Mandalore again, and what's going to happen with all these other plots that are happening with the cloning, with the New Republic, and of course Jon Favreau teasing something that they're building towards with all the shows. Who knows? I'm excited, so let's go for it.
Come in. This is Paul.
The armor. Are we getting Din Djarin's mask being made? Is this a flashback? Because, oh no, it's a different helmet. Whose helmet is this? Is this a ceremony of taking the creed? I'm already loving this. Give me some backstory, give me some history. Give me some lore.
This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way. I was early, sorry.
I shall never.
Oh wow.
Young ones to the gate.
Oh dang. A little crocodile roll there. Boom. Oh wow. That's an entrance. That is an entrance right there. Oh man, N1 Starfighters. The Apostate. I've missed Grogu so much.
Remove your helmet. This is the way.
Did the cuteness of Grogu convince her? Because it would convince me too. I wasn't sure about having his ship be the N1 Starfighter, but oh man, am I convinced. The Purgle? We got a Purgle cameo. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Tie it all together. Purgle from Star Wars Rebels, if you don't know. Very cool, very important. But they can travel hyperspace. They're basically space whales. Okay, I had a feeling we'd be back at Navarro.
Here to meet an old friend.
Going to see an old friend. Luke. Original trilogy. You know. You know. That's another Easter egg.
A lot has changed around here.
The droid. IG-11 statue. How fitting.
Welcome back. Doesn't even look like the same place.
I know
The droid's carrying the cape?
citizens have been so instrumental in making this open. Look,
That's hilarious. Lando would be jealous.
His name is Grogu.
if you say so. I want to show you something. Now, as I was saying, there's a beautiful parcel.
Grogu.
available right there.
Spinning in the chair.
I appreciate
Using the Force.
but I have
I love a good showdown. The tension. Wah, wah, wah. He's not gonna do it. Oh, he is.
Tell Captain Brilliant Shark.
Yeah. Grogu's used to it now.
I need him back.
What?
IG-11 was destroyed on the lava river. This
Are we getting IG-11 back?
Someone I can trust to help me explore.
Mando, shoot it! Shoot it!
So far we've brought IG back twice. And then this will be a third time.
For it? I don't think.
Yes! Do we not get Babu Frick? Different ones? There we go. Babu.
Not a pet. Sorry about that. He's young. No, bro.
Oh. Bad baby. I expected this episode to be a lot of setup and kind of where they now, and that's pretty much what we're getting. But they're getting us with a lot of adorableness, some Easter eggs.
Avast, Mandalorian.
Avast.
Sneak away, cutting down
Real
four
pirates.
of my brothers.
There's more. Huh. A dogfight. It's a weird looking dude. I mean, it's nice to have practical effects, but that's a weird looking dude.
Is a Mandalorian castle.
Alright. We're getting Bo-Katan. Awesome. Okay, so it was a Mandalorian planet, but not Mandalore. That makes sense in all the previews.
Bo-Katan. It is Din Djarin.
Just lounging. Where's Bo-Katan?
So you gave up your designs to retake Mandalore?
Your cult gave up on Mandalore long before the Purge.
And I will find out if the planet is really poisoned.
Goodbye, Din Djarin.
Oh. She'll be back. Ready for their team-up episode. Okay, there's so much to take in for this episode, but let's start with the basic idea that this episode was set up. This episode sets up the entire season. We've got a setup with now IG-11 possibly being reassembled and restored. Whether we get the memory of IG or not, doesn't sound like it, but like IG returning again. We've had IG, this is going to be like, now with this episode, we're going to get IG back for the third time, which is kind of insane. We've got a lot of setup with Grief Karga and what's happening on Navarro. We've got setup with the Mandalorian, I should say, sect, the Mandalorian clan, set up on some beach, and still having the younglings and seeing that ceremony. By the way, seeing that ceremony, seeing them take the creed was super awesome. I really loved that, and I love that we're going to get more Mandalorian lore, be able to dive into that more. I mean, this is the third season, and we've only had like glimpses of things over the first 2.5 seasons. But we just seeing that was fantastic. I didn't even know at that point if it was a flashback or present time, of course. And then, of course, like the setup with going to Mandalore. And I love that he's now on the mission early on to go to Mandalore. I was worried that we were going to like wait late in the season for that to really come to fruition. Like there were going to be like more side missions happening before that happened. But no, to see Bo-Katan in this state of giving up. And I know there's a lot of like people who are pro Bo and anti-Bo when it comes to their like of the character. But to see Bo-Katan in this state, in that she's not trying to get the Darksaber and wield power and do a lot, she's just kind of given up, and it's going to really be an interesting story arc moving forward for Bo-Katan, to basically find that drive again and to have a purpose. Because right now, Bo-Katan doesn't have a purpose, and that was the whole point of trying to restore Mandalore, is she had purpose. Like, she's a soldier. She needs purpose. She needs a mission, something to work towards. But now all of that is gone, and so we're going to see that moving forward. Of course, we're going to see her and Din team up at some point. But I'm looking forward to having a Bo-Katan story, an arc development, because we haven't really gotten it that much. Like, Bo-Katan's been involved in a lot of things, but never really like her own character development focus in that. Din Djarin still really sticking to his guns on wanting to bathe in the waters of Mandalore. Again, there's going to be this coming to a head of his clan being more of a cult, and Bo-Katan even says cult in this. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with Din Djarin, because we've got more seasons coming up. We've got a bigger story developing. Like, does Din Djarin finally accept in this season that his clan is a cult? It's hard to say if they're going to actually go that far this season. But I think it's about time. I think it's about time that we actually have that conversation with Din as a character and be able to explore that a bit more. Because right now he's very like focused on like must go to Mandalore, must figure this out. And I'm looking forward to going to Mandalore. And obviously we see in some trailers of stuff that could be Mandalore or Caves of Mandalore. So I'm looking forward to that. And Grogu, just Grogu. And just seeing Grogu like wheel around in the chair using the Force, and just getting his little reactions. Nothing for Grogu yet, but I do love that Din is already starting to teach Grogu on how to be a Mandalorian, really giving him lessons, basically being that father figure. And I know it's like a father figure to be a Mandalorian, but like it's teaching Grogu like his values and skill sets. And that's adorable to see, but awesome to see that role versus just before it was just trying to get Grogu to a Jedi, or just keep Grogu from being unalived. I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's going to really dive in because they spent so much time in this episode setting up. Oh, Easter eggs. We haven't even talked about the Easter eggs. Come on, the Purrgil. The Purrgil. In Hyperspace Lanes, we see the Purrgil going parallel with them traveling. And of course, we've seen the Purrgil in Star Wars Rebels, and it seemed like just a one-off episode with them, but of course became instrumental in the finale of everything. And if I was giving away things, I'm sorry, but the show's been out for a while. But the Purrgil, it's a Dave Filoni thing when it comes to Rebels, but the fact that they're adding that in here is awesome, and that makes me think we're going to get a lot more Rebels and Ahsoka type setup happening in this season. And of course we got the white 3PO droid, but it's I think K3PO if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna have to double check. But we've seen that character kind of pop up in games and like old movie stuff. But seeing just like little Easter eggs like that, and then of course the lizard monkeys and like all sorts of stuff they have in this. And Babu Frick, I'm pretty sure that's Babu Frick. I'm gonna have to double check, but it's same voice and so adorable. Bad baby. I thought that was great. I thought that all that was heartwarming. That Grogu just wants a pet. Just a kid wants a pet. And what better pet than Babu Frick? So I enjoyed the episode. Oh, and of course, the big alligator, crocodile, the huge that was awesome. I really hope we get a mythosaur. I don't know if we will. I know I'm rambling because there's so many thoughts when it comes to this, but in wrapping things up, I'm excited about this season. I'm excited that we're going to explore new realms of this show, but also of Mandalorians that we haven't gotten yet. And I'm now that we're having just like a week to week drop when it comes to these things, I have a week to have to wait for this. But I'm looking forward to talking about this on my Secret Transmissions podcast tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific. Of course, here on YouTube and on Twitch. And be there because we're gonna really talk about all of these things. I've got the Podwans on, and we're gonna dive into this Mando stuff because there's so much to talk about. As you can see, I just keep going. But I'm gonna cut off now before I go over way too much and bore you to death. But thank you for joining me. It's been a couple years since we've had a Mando episode, and it was great to be back and to have something new to watch and to kind of absorb. So. Again, join me next week. I'm going to do week-to-week releases, reaction, and reviews with this. Thank you for joining me. Hit that subscribe button because that helps out. But it's been a pleasure. Fulcrum out.